Mr. Fabio Baggiacci, founder and executive director of the European Center for Electoral Support, Mr. Stefano De Leo, Deputy Director General of the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, distinguished chairpersons and commissioners of election management bodies across Africa, our resource persons, facilitators, and our partners, a good morning to all of you. It is a pleasure to join you in Rome to deliver these opening remarks and to share a few reflections with you at the start of this important peer learning mission. I stand before you wearing two hats, as chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana and president of the Association of African Election Authorities. For those less familiar with our association, the AAEA is our continental platform for solidarity and shared progress. It brings together election management bodies across Africa to exchange experiences, strengthen standards, and support one another in delivering credible elections. Over the years, we have done this in close collaboration with the African Union and with the European Center for Electoral Support. At this point, I would like to thank especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Italy for hosting and supporting this mission. Their commitment to democratic governance and digital sovereignty has made this gathering possible. Colleagues, let me begin with a simple truth. Election management bodies are custodians of public trust. When elections are trusted, nations remain stable. When they are questioned, the very foundation of democracy is shaken. That responsibility defines our work. For decades, elections were largely physical processes anchored in polling stations, voter registers, ballot papers, and face-to-face interactions. The rules were clear, the terrain was familiar and indeed physical. But that terrain has fundamentally changed now. Today, elections are no longer confined in polling stations and in ballot boxes and voter registers. They unfold in real time across digital platforms, on mobile phones and social media spaces, and through rapidly evolving information ecosystems. The electoral cycle now begins long before election day and continues well beyond it. Therefore, if we do not adapt to this reality, we risk losing control of the narrative and ultimately public confidence. That is precisely why we are here, to learn from one another, to anticipate emerging risks, and to shape a common strategic response. This new landscape calls for three strategic shifts. First, we must proactively use digital tools to serve and inform voters. Social media allows us to communicate directly, instantly, and at scale. In Ghana, for example, the Electoral Commission leveled platforms such as Facebook, X, WhatsApp, and YouTube to counter misinformation in real time. We developed clear, visibly engaging infographics on demonstrating our registration statistics, our voting processes, and providing information on results in real time. These were widely shared and easily understood, and far more cost-effective than the traditional methods we had used previously. Crucially, this enabled us to reach citizens quickly, particularly our young voters, before misinformation took root. This approach has shown that timely, accessible information is one of the most powerful tools we can use to build trust. Secondly, as election management bodies, We must actively safeguard the integrity of information. The speed and sophistication of misinformation, including AI-generated content, require us to respond with equal agility. We must become the most trusted source of electoral information. This means communicating early, clearly, and consistently, as well as partnering with the media and fact-checkers and technology platforms, and ensuring that citizens know where to find verified information. Transparency about our own use of technology is equally crucial. Trust thrives in openness. Thirdly, we must strengthen resilience, both technological and institutional. Cybersecurity is no longer optional. It is foundational. Protecting data, electoral infrastructure, and result systems is essential not only for operational integrity, but for public confidence. At the same time, we must ensure that digital innovation does not exclude those who do without access to technology. Inclusivity must remain at the heart of our approach. In essence, the question before us is not whether to use these new tools, but how to use them responsibly and effectively to the benefit of our societies and our own institutions. How can AI assist us in voter education, in anomaly detection, and in oversight of our own electoral processes? How do we use social media to build trust and reach citizens who have never set foot in a government office? And crucially, how do we protect our electoral infrastructure from cyber attacks, ransomware, and foreign interference that grows more sophisticated with each election cycle? Simply put, technology must be used to serve democracy, not to distort it. It must be used to inform and not to manipulate. It must be used to include and not to exclude. It must be used to strengthen trust and not to erode it. This is what we are here to learn and to take home this week. Allow me, dear colleagues, to leave you with 4 key reflections. First, let us use AI and social media to get closer to the voter and not further away. These tools allow us to engage directly with citizens in real time, across multiple languages, and on platforms they already use daily. They give us the ability to explain every stage of the electoral process clearly, from the registration to the declaration of results, before misinformation can take hold. When voters feel informed, heard, and connected to the election management bodies, trust grows naturally, and with it, in the outcome. Secondly, let us turn new technologies into instruments of transparency. AI and digital platforms give us unprecedented opportunities to make our work visible. We can publish timely data on registration, statistics, polling station results, and dispute resolution. We can live stream key stages of the process, demonstrate how ballots are counted, and open ourselves to public scrutiny in real time. Transparency is no longer abstract. It can be seen, shared, and verified by citizens themselves. And when people and citizens see how decisions are made, they are far more likely to accept the results. Third, let us make technology a shield for our independence. In an era of rising digital threats, cybersecurity is essential to protecting not just our systems, but our credibility. Robust safeguards ensure that voter data, results transmission systems, and institutional platforms are secure from interference. At the same time, AI can help us detect coordinated misinformation campaigns, fake accounts, and attempts to undermine public trust. When we demonstrate that our systems are secure and that we are in control of our digital environment, we reinforce our independence and our constitutional mandate. Fourth, let us engage and provide direct response. Of an election is not determined solely by its legality, but by the extent to which citizens believe in it. Social media and AI should not be used only to broadcast information, but to listen and respond to citizens' concerns. When we engage meaningfully, answering questions, addressing fears, and acknowledging uncertainties, we humanize our institutions. And when citizens feel respected and included in the process, they are far more likely to accept the outcome, even when it does not favor their preferred candidate. Colleagues, our mandate remains unchanged. It is to protect the voice of every voter. But the tools at our disposal and the risks we face have evolved dramatically. Today, together with the African Union, ACES, LEAD AI, and with the support of the government of Italy, this peer learning mission will equip us with the knowledge, strategies, and partnerships needed to navigate this new era, to strengthen electoral accountability and integrity by harnessing innovation while safeguarding trust. Let us use this opportunity not only to reflect, but to commit, each of us, to one practical step that will enhance transparency, resilience, and voter engagement in our respective contexts. I'd like to thank you all for your attention and to wish us all a productive and impactful workshop. Thank you.